when I first got it, I was like, okay, sure. Hi you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for today because we're doing a dedicated video to one product, and I feel like it's been a while since I've done that. We are talking specifically about the Tower 28 tinted sunscreen. I've gotten DMs about it, I've gotten comments. I actually got a couple emails on my website about it, if I was going to review it, and I was like, honey, don't worry, already been testing it, already been trying. The second it came out, I literally grabbed it immediately and have been testing and trying it since, and I have some thoughts and I'm so excited to share them with you guys. We're going to be going through my like all of the stuff with this, and then we're also going to be comparing and contrasting it to other like tints in the same vein, kind of same packaging that I've talked about on this channel before, just so you can kind of see how it compares. And I'm really excited. Sunscreen is so important. Okay, tinted sunscreen, that's first of all genius, and I know they're not the first one to come out with it, but I was really excited for Tower 28 specifically to come out with it, because I feel like the way that they do their product launches is really not different, but they don't rush. I feel like it doesn't feel like a rush when they release stuff. It feels like they really think things through. Not that other brands don't, but I just feel like they kind of take their time more. So I was really excited to try this one out, just because I had expectations, but I also was just excited to see what their version of a tinted sunscreen would be. So I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So I just kind of want to jump in and get started. I would love to know down below what other like dedicated videos you want for like specific brands or products. And if there's any makeup looks you want me to do, because I am gearing up for some holiday content and I'm very excited to share some holiday makeup looks with you guys. I have 2 on the docket that I feel like you guys are really gonna like. And I would love to know anything else you want to see down below. Please leave me a comment. And if you have used the Tower 28 tinted sunscreen, I would love to know what your thoughts are down below. And I just want to kind of jump in and get started. So if you're excited for this video or more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this Tower 28 tinted sunscreen review. All right, you guys, let's get into it. I'm excited. My hands, look at this. I was just testing out something, and it literally, I scrubbed it and it stuck on my hand. Like, look at that. I have to like really rub, and it's still like on. You love to see that lasting power, but like, I'm done now. Can you get off my hand? But let's get into it. I'm excited. So I have the product in front of me here. So this is the, again, Tower 28 SPF 30 Sunny Days tinted sunscreen, and I'm very excited. So the shade that I wear in this is the shade 45 Silver Lake. Now I want to say I felt like picking a shade, I was like kind of in between two, and I didn't really know what to do, but I just grabbed the one that kind of like felt right. I didn't feel like their swatching was bad. I feel like in general, I always say like swatching is real tough to pick from, but I feel like this one I didn't have as hard of a time picking from. And I feel like it's super accurate, especially when I'm like, just for my my untanned kind of face right now. It's very accurate. I really like this. I'm gonna swatch this later on, but what I love about this is a mineral sunscreen, and I know for some people it's super important for sunscreens to be mineral. And I was really intrigued because mineral sunscreen sometimes can just be like thick feeling or like almost like grainy feeling at times. So I really wanted to see how this one performed. So it comes in a squeegee tube like this. It has a really interesting applicator. And what I like is you can see right now, it's not like dripping out, but it is on the liquidy side. So if you hold it like this for a really long time, product will come out. But I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand so you can kind of see what this looks like. So this is the shade, what is this, 45 Silver Lake. And although it looks a little bit white, when I actually blend it out, it's like perfect for me. When I first got it, I was like, okay, sure. But when I applied it and I blended it out, it was literally perfect. Sometimes, you know what, I find that even when you first apply a foundation or a tint, whatever it is, give it a second and blend it out and just see how it actually blends out to your complexion, because sometimes things can look either dark or light, and then once you blend it out, you don't really feel or notice that there's something like it doesn't match you, if that makes sense, or at least I do. And yeah, so this is the shade 45, as you saw. Really good. I mean, look how good that looks. That is just so pretty. It's just like, I really was impressed. Like, this is almost my perfect shade. Of course, nothing's perfect. It's always gonna, you know, nothing's a perfect match for anyone's skin, but this is really, really, really good. Now, what I liked about this, and I want to say I was really impressed with, is again, it's a mineral sunscreen, so I expected it to have a little bit more grit or texture, but it doesn't have any. I'm gonna say it again. She don't have no texture at all in it. And I feel like most people who've used mineral sunscreens had that expectation, but it doesn't have that at all. Now, the way that it applies is definitely, it's on the sheer side, but if you're the type of person that likes a skin tint, you will probably really enjoy the coverage of this. If you apply a little bit and then you apply more because you want a little bit more coverage or you want more product, it doesn't ball up or anything like that. It does layer up nicely, which I really, really like. And I think if you're a fan of a skin tint or you like something that's a little bit more lightweight, the coverage here, you are probably really, really gonna enjoy it. I would say that this is definitely more of a natural finish. It's not super, super dewy, which I enjoy. Sometimes I like super dewy in my skin tints, but sometimes I like something that is a little less dewy and just a little bit more natural looking on the skin. I mean, I love some dew, but you know, sometimes it just depends on the day. The coverage on this I really enjoy, and I like the way that it applies and blends out. So I've applied it with my fingers, I've used a brush, I've used a sponge, and I find with all ways that it applies really, really nicely. There's no patchiness. Again, it doesn't ball up when I apply it with other products underneath it or on top. I feel like it layers really nicely with other products like other cream blushes, even powder blushes. It wears nicely with powder on top, and I don't find that it clings to dry patches, and I find that that is really, really important. Just because, especially as we're going into winter, everyone's gonna, not everyone's, if you don't, you're blessed, but some people get dry patches, or just even if you get hyperpigmentation, sometimes that hyperpigmentation does, you know, it is kind of more dry and stuff can cling to it. I don't find that this clings to hyperpigmentation. It doesn't cling to dry patches at all. It really just kind of glazes over it, which is really, really nice, and just looks seamless, gives your skin like this really flawless, beautiful finish, although it's really, really lightweight. So if flawless to you is full coverage, she's not gonna be for you just because like she's a light coverage. But if flawless to you is just like really beautiful looking skin, dewy but not super intensely dewy, it wears really nicely throughout the day. I don't feel like I'm super oily at the end of the day, but I do have some dew, if that makes sense. Like, it's not, you're not greasy by the end of the day, or at least I wasn't greasy, and I have kind of combination skin. I tend to definitely be greasy or oily kind of in my T-zone, and I tend to be more dry on my cheeks, but sometimes I can be a little bit normal. My skin kind of can go all over the place, and I do find that this performs really well on my sweaty days, on my drier days, on my dehydrated, drank too much wine days, which, like, it happens a lot. Sometimes you think you're gonna have a glass, you end up having 2 or 3 or whatever, and then you wake up in the morning, you're like, why did I do that? Why? And then your skin feels dehydrated, you feel dehydrated. This is really good for those days too. It just gives my skin like a plump, youthful look, and I really, really like that. I genuinely have nothing negative to say about this. The only thing I will say is sometimes when I squeeze it out, there's like bubbles that come out. That's not like a negative thing. It's just something that like I thought was interesting. But it's so good. It's just, and the color again, for me, this is like a perfect shade. I just love it so much. My skin looks so pretty with it. And I love that no matter what I did with it, whether it's put powder on top, whether it's not wear powder, layer powder, blushes, bronzers, or anything like that, I didn't find that I had an issue, even with primer underneath it. And sometimes primer mixed with other products, depending on how you apply it, especially if it's the type I like, which is more of a gripping primer, can create balling issues, but I don't find that. And I don't find that this oxidizes, and that is really important for sunscreen products. This is really, really good. I really enjoy it, and I definitely recommend this if you love like the same type of skin. If you're the type of person with, like, if you're a viewer of mine and you're like, I relate to her, I like that type of skin product as well when I describe, you know, the skin tints I like or even foundations I like. If you are that type of person, you are probably really gonna enjoy this. I like this a lot. Oh, and lastly, before I move on to what I want to compare it to, the shade range on this, Honey Baby Sweetie, so good. That's all I want to say. I think the shade range is great, and I hope other brands follow suit with their tints, because even if something's a tint, you need like a shade range with range in undertones and stuff. Like so good. Obsessed. Okay, enough. We get it, Manon, you're obsessed with it, and I am. Let's talk about it compared to this, the Say Beauty Slip Tint. So I have two shades in this, the shade 5 and 6, and this I believe is SPF 35. Yes, this is SPF 35, and I would say that this one has more coverage than this one. So if you want more coverage, I would probably go here. But I will say I like the way that this one makes my skin look more, because it has a little bit more dew to it, and it kind of feels lighter on the skin. Like this truly feels like there's nothing on your skin, where I feel like this one feels a little bit more like there's something on your skin, but it's still a tint, if that makes sense. This one feels more like the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer. So if you're looking for a good alternative to that, I would definitely check this out. Texture wise, the way it wears is really similar. This one is a little bit more on the liquid side, but let me just show you. Let me do a side by side of them. This is the shade 6, so this is the darker of the two that I have, and I'm just gonna, this is more of a cream, as you can see, and this one, I just drip it, is more of a, oh my god, the shades are like so different. And this one is more of a liquid. Like you can just even see, and I mean, maybe you can't see, but even me touching, they're definitely a little bit different. This one is on the thinner side, but really good. This one has a little bit more coverage. I love them both. Let's move on to my, okay, let me clean off my hand. Let's move on to my like true obsession of life that I've been talking about nonstop, the Ami Colé skin tints. Now these do not have SPF in them, but I will say, like, I've been so obsessed with these, and I feel like I've talked about, I'm gonna do a full Ami Colé brand review. They just launched a mascara, so testing that out. So I will definitely do a full brand review when I'm done testing that out. But these are so freaking good. So I have two shades in this. I have the shade medium 1 and the shade medium 2. I can wear them each alone or mixed together. I love these. These are super glass-like looking skin, and I feel like the finish is very similar to this. I would say the coverage is also similar. This might have a little bit more coverage, but just the way that it makes my skin look, these just are so freaking pretty. I would say this is a little bit more dewy than this one. This one, if you want like that true, like very glass, very plumped up, like dewy skin, this one is a little bit more dewy than this one. This one again is a more of a natural finish, but they're both so good. And I mean, the shade range on this one is more extensive, so that's just that on that one. But these are really, I'm very impressed with the both of these. I'm wearing like this nonstop since before I got this, like literally just been grabbing this nonstop. So good. If you are looking for something that's in that Glossier vein, these are both really good. And I mean, I'm just so impressed with this specifically, but with both of these, so good. I know someone's gonna ask me if I have a favorite. I don't have a favorite. If I had to pick in the lineup, right, like I would say these are equal to me. For me, one has SPF in it and one doesn't, so it really depends for me here which one I'm gonna go with. This one I would say is now kind of third. Oh geez, okay, can I please, I would say that this would be last place in terms of my favorites right now. Just what I'm loving for my skin is like super dewy, glass-like looking skin, and I feel like these give me that more so than this one. But I still love this one. I still grab it all the time. I'm just more in this obsession camp right now, and truly obsessed with this, non-stop wearing this. I've been grabbing this over this recently. It's so good. I just love the way it makes my skin look and feel, and I think that they're all great and they're all really good, but they all have like something a little bit different. If you want something with a little bit more coverage, definitely go go here out of the three of them because you can definitely build this one up a little bit more. But these, like, I can, out of these two, this one builds up easier than this one, I would say. But they're really, really good. Not easier. They just, this one has a little bit more coverage than this one. But so, so good. A huge fan of the Tower 28 tinted sunscreen. I would love to know your thoughts down below if you've used it, if you've been interested in it. I feel like this, when it came out, everyone was like so freaking excited because tinted sunscreen is something that I feel like I feel like a lot of skin tints are missing that like sunscreen element to them, especially because a lot of the time when you're wearing something more lightweight, it's in the summer and you want a little bit more SPF protection, or at least I do. So this is really, really good. Huge fan. Again, leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this product. What did you think of their shade range? Did you like it as much as I did? I was very impressed with their shade range. I feel like they did a good job, especially for something that is a tint, to really make sure they covered a lot of their bases. And if they have to add a few more shades here and there, okay, but they did such a good job. And again, tints don't have to be a perfect 100% match. They just kind of have to, a lot of the time, undertone match, and I feel like they did a good job with that, which is great. And yeah, that's it for my Tower 28 tinted sunscreen review. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.